Okay, why don't we count together 1? And there's 2. Moving on to 3. Keep on going. Let's take a look at 4. And you guessed it, lucky number 5. Gotta love it. Hello, Daily Drafters. Today is Wednesday, February 16th, and thanks for joining me for today's Daily Draft. As we get into the content in here, I'd like to give a special shout out and thank you to all those in the subscriber community for choosing to spend a part of your day here with me. And for those of you that are not subscribed yet, go ahead and click that red subscribe button attached to this video. Remember, it's absolutely free, will never cost you a dime, and you will then have access to the most consistent, high-quality MTG Limited content on YouTube. So we're here a little into the format now. It's our third draft, so we got a little bit of an idea of what's going on. And as we look at this pack here, I see Moonsnare Specialist, which is one of the better blue commons. It's like a Mana War, bounce a creature, has ninjutsu. Dockside Chef is really good for black-based sacrifice decks. Michiko's Reign of Truth is one of the better uncommons in the entire set, in my opinion. This card's basically insane. And Mindlink Mech, 3 mana 4/3 flying, and then you crew 1, and you can kind of like give other things flying, or give it kind of takes on whatever it has that's in the crew thing. I know we've had a lot of green-white drafts on the channel, but I think this card is enough better than any of the other cards in the pack that I'm willing to take it this early here. I'm not going to be married to it if another card comes along that needs to push me off of it, but so far, I think that was by far and away the better card. Had we gone the other route, let's see. So there's Roaring Earth, sorry about that. Oni Cult Anvil seems like a fun deck. Had we gone with the Dockside Chef, I think we'd take the Anvil here. There's also Era of Enlightenment, which is fine, not great. It's pretty good. I think Roaring Earth, if we are going to go green-white enchantments, I think Roaring Earth is the best between Jukai Preserver, this, and Era of Enlightenment. They're all three I would love to have in that deck, though. So because we have this, though, I think I'm going to go ahead. Well, Michiko's Reign of Truth is really, it's good in black. It could be good in black-white as well. So we're not necessarily married to green-white. And how much better is Roaring Earth than Era of Enlightenment along with Jukai Preserver? I think I'm going to stay white in the event that green gets cut from us and take the Era of Enlightenment here. So now we see the Modern Age, which is a card I really do like. Even blue-white can be leaning a little bit more into the enchantments theme, right? If we take blue-white, then we'll have 3 straight enchantments for the Michiko's Reign of Truth. Not a huge fan of Master's Rebuke, to be honest. It's kind of gone down a little bit for me. It's not really going to push me into green here. If we're going to stay white, there's Eiganjo Exemplar, which a curve from Exemplar into Reign of Truth is pretty good because it attacks as a 5/4 for 2 straight turns, which is really good. So I think it's between the Modern Age and Eiganjo Exemplar, and I'm just going to stay white. I think the Modern Age is better than Eiganjo Exemplar in a vacuum. But there's, again, with the fact that this is an enchantment creature and the fact that we are staying white so far, I think it leans me toward picking the Exemplar over that there. Now we have no white cards. And if we look to other colors, Patchwork Automaton is really good. 2 mana, 1/1. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, put a 1/1 counter on it. It's been pretty insane. Fortunately, we're leaning on the enchantment side of the spectrum and not the artifact side. There's no white card we could take. We could take Terrarium as like a hedge. We could take Specialist as a good blue card. But if we are leaning white enchantments, there is Azusa's Many Journeys, which is fine. It kind of ramps a little bit if you get it out early, gains a few life to help you from not playing a creature, and then you get a 3/3 that has a little bit of bonus on the backside. I think it's what I'm going to take here over Automaton. I think there's 2 ways this draft could have gone. I think we could have gone the route we're going right now with green-white. I also think we could have had a pretty good black-red start with the enchantments or with the artifact side, Dockside Chef and Oni Cult Anvil and things like that. But I think so far, this seems like a pretty good start to a green-white deck. We'll see if we can follow it up with some good stuff. So, Upriser Renegade seems pretty good, but I don't think it needs to push us into a third color so much as there is an Eiganjo Exemplar here as well. So I think I'm just going to, stay white. I don't think Prodigy's Prototype is a card that's going to push me into blue-white necessarily. I have not been impressed with the blue-white deck, and I haven't drafted it well enough for it to perform, and I haven't been beat by it yet. So until someone beats me with a good blue-white deck, I'm just going to kind of steer clear and then see if they can prove it to me. Now we see a pretty late Jukai Preserver. This is probably the best green common, and the fact that we're seeing it pick 6 here is a bit of a signal. Decent-ish white cards, not necessarily for this deck, but Jukai Preserver is for this deck, and it's going to be great. Let's see. Commune with Spirits. Maybe this could wheel, so you may reveal an enchantment or a land and put it into your hand. So if we run a little bit short on playables, or we really have some great enchantments we want to be finding, Commune with Spirits could actually be a decent playable in our deck. But Jukai Preserver seems like an easy pick here. Now we see Mothrider Patrol as pretty much the best card in the entire pack. It doesn't go perfectly in green-white, but just think Mothrider Patrol on 2, Eiganjo Exemplar on 3, and then Michiko's Reign of Truth on 4. Then you have a 4/4 flying... 4/4? Yeah. It'd be a 2 plus 3... It'd be a 4/4 flying attacker 2 turns in a row, which gets out of hand pretty quickly. So we're definitely going to take this Mothrider Patrol here and look to stay white. Now we have Thundersteel Colossus, Imperial Subduer, Tamiyo's Safekeeping, Automated Artificer. Not a lot for anyone. I think the best card in this pack here is... They're all kind of situational. And unfortunately, our situation doesn't lean towards any of these cards. There's Aki Emberkeeper, 2 mana, 2/1. Whenever a non-token modified creature you control dies, you get a 1/1. I think we're just going to take the Subduer to cut white again, but I don't think it fits with what our current plan is here. On that same idea, similar things here. I haven't found a deck for Light the Way. Harmonious Emergence could be okay, but I don't know. I think you could do better than this in enchantments. I guess I'll take it because there's not much else. Maybe we could take a Rugged Highlands and look to maybe splash some red removal. I think that's better than an Emergence. These cards wheel all the time. So if we want one, we'll be able to get one. We'll take this in the event that we go like green-white and want to splash some sort of red card. So I don't think Tamiyo's Safekeeping is main deckable, at least not yet, in the format. And then Shrine Steward, I don't know, maybe I'll take this in the event that we find access to the white and or green Shrine and we really need to put it in our deck. But I don't think we need to move into black or red for any of these cards. We'll put this right into the sideboard here. No white or green, so that's a little awkward. So I think we'll just take Mnemonic Sphere, 2 mana, then an additional 2 mana. You could draw 2 cards. You could channel it to draw a card. It's probably the best card in this pack, but none of this is really for us. Fade into Antiquity, 3 mana, exile target artifact or enchantment. There is a ton of targets for this. And I think main decking this is not the end of the world by any means. Not really any of this for us. Commune with Spirits did wheel. People are not really onto that card. I'm willing to give it a shot. And then our emergency, we get that last pick. So, all right, let's take a look here. Mirror Box, Legend Rule, Legendary Creatures, that's a big nope. Hot Shot Mechanic is not an enchantment, it's an artifact. Ancestral Katana also. We have 1 Warrior and 2 Samurais. There's a Wanderer's Intervention, a Coiling Stalker. Best cards in this pack are probably just Twisted Embrace and Network Disruptor. There's another land that could help us splash, but there's some decent cards here. But again, I'm not... There's nothing here that's like, oh my gosh, a Twisted Embrace. We need to move off of everything we've got and move into this color, right? Wanderer's Invention is a fine enough removal spell in some decks. It's an underwhelming first pick, absolutely. But I don't think I'm going to move into blue for Network Disruptor necessarily. So we'll just take the intervention there and see if we get past some sort of bomb that can give us a direction. I don't think we're necessarily married to green-white, but we'd have to see something in the next 3 or 4 picks to really push us off of it. And here we have Soul Transfer, which is a heavy black card. Is it good enough to really push us off of green and or white? I don't know. There's a Gloom Shrieker if we wanted to go down green-black. There's another Twisted Embrace and a Soul Transfer. Lots of good black cards in this deck, in this pack. Fall of Lord Khanda has actually been pretty good too. It's another enchantment, gets rid of big creatures, and then you get a defender that when it dies you draw a card. So, I mean, what are our best cards right now? Probably Jukai Preserver, Michiko's Reign of Truth. Gloom Shrieker is an enchantment. I think I'm going to take Fall of Lord Khanda here. And this kind of cements us into green-white. And then we see Satsuki the Living Lore. 2 mana, 1/3. Tap to put a lore counter on each saga you control. And then when it dies, you can return target saga or enchantment I control to my hand. Or return target saga card from your graveyard to your hand. So right now we have 4 sagas already. So this seems very good for our deck. This weren't here. I would love to have a copy of Sunblade Samurai, but I'm not sure that would make it back to us. So I think with Satsuki here, we're going to be looking to take a lot of the good green and white sagas, and I think we're going to lock in green-white with the acquisition of Satsuki there. Then we see another Michiko's Reign of Truth, which is great. There is a Greater Tanuki, though, which I would love to have access to. Again, if we could find 1 Tanuki and 1 Sunblade Samurai, I'd love to have that. But Michiko's Reign of Truth, again, we've already got 8 enchantments. This will make 9. With double Exemplar, we can get off to some seriously hot starts with that. So now there's no green cards, but there is an Era of Enlightenment. There's also a Selfless Samurai. And I think Selfless Samurai is going to be great. So we could probably find maybe 1 or 2 more exemplars here. And with the Selfless Samurai, these could be attacking as very high-powered creatures with double Michiko's Reign of Truth as well. And this can protect it, because we can sacrifice this to give another creature indestructible. If this wasn't here, I'd probably take Era of Enlightenment as just another good saga for us. But I'll take the Selfless Samurai. And then we see Banishing Slash and another Selfless Samurai. I think it's between these two, and I think I'm willing to go with another Selfless Samurai. I think we're looking to kind of combo out our opponents with a couple of maybe a Mothrider Patrol plus Reign of Truth, things like that. And this can help protect some of those creatures if we're going to be attacking alone. Would definitely love to play a Banishing Slash, but I'm going to take the Selfless Samurai here. And now we see, Era of Enlightenment, Golden Tail Disciple, and Intercessor's Arrest. Would love to have 2 more copies of all of those cards in this deck. We are very low on removal so far, so I'm going to have to take the Arrest here, but I would not mind picking up a Golden Tail Disciple or 2 for this deck, and I'll play as many Era of Enlightenments as I can get as well. So, need that first copy of Arrest. Spirited Companion, pick 8. I think our deck is wide open. This is probably the best white common. Goes great in this deck. It's an enchantment. It can get buffed by Michiko's Reign of Truth to make it a relevant attacker later in the game. This is exactly what we're looking for. So we will slam that here, and I think our deck is wide open, to be honest. So already getting very close to playables. Probably don't want the emergence, but yeah, so this is our wheel pack. We've got 2 white cards and 2 green cards that came back. So pretty good to note. I don't think we need Katana. Our curve is looking a little 2-drop heavy as well, which is not a bad thing. I think I'll just take Coiling Stalker as another creature that could go on the curve. But so there's Gloom Shrieker or Regent's Authority. I don't think we would look to splash Gloom Shrieker even if we got a couple black sources. Maybe we would. I think we can get a Regent's Authority if we want it. We may not even want it. So let's just take the Gloom Shrieker here. So here is Ancestral Katana versus Bearer of Memory. I think I'll take the Bearer of Memory as another enchantment and to kind of fill out our curve a little bit. Not an outstandingly great creature. And there's the Regent's Authority. We got it anyway. So we'll put that into the deck. And Era of Enlightenment came back. So again, I think our deck is open. Here is an emergence that we don't really care about. And last pick, Era of Enlightenment. So 2 mana 2/2 with first strike that scries 2 and gains 2. Pretty good. We got it last pick. Yeah. All right, so Brilliant Restoration. This is looking a lot like yesterday's draft, or maybe the first one. I can't remember exactly. Return all enchantment cards from the graveyard, our graveyard, to the battlefield. We have 15 enchantments. Gosh, can I make this work? I think we can make this work. Like, a couple creatures. We get all of the Saga triggers. Yeah, I think we can make Brilliant Restoration work. I would love a Tales of Master Sashiro, and maybe it wheels based on how wide open our deck seems, but let's take Brilliant Restoration and see if we can make that work. Seems like a fun card to try to build around. So here we've got a Jukai Preserver, a Fall of Lord Kanda, and an Iganjo Exemplar. I think all three of these are exactly what we're looking for. And for curve considerations, I think I'm going to take the Preserver and hope the Exemplar wheels. There's even a chance Fall of Lord Kanda wheels, honestly. But we're a little low on creatures. We only have 10, and this is a very, very good one. So we're looking to wheel Exemplar or Kanda on pick 10. That would be great if it does. Even Moth Rider Patrol, to be honest. But I'm not sure that one will wheel. So let's take the Jukai Preserver here. It's another enchantment for our Brilliant Restoration. And yeah, I think it's going pretty well so far. So here we have Iganjo Exemplar or Bamboo Grove Archer. I think we're looking to be a little bit more aggressive. Would I play a Bamboo Grove Archer? Probably. I don't know, but I think we're looking to be a little bit more aggressive. So we'll lean with Iganjo Exemplar. Multiples of these on the battlefield do stack. So if you have 3 of these on the battlefield and you attack with one of them, it gets +3/+3 till end of turn, which is, you know, crazy. If only there were a combat trick in this format that gave it trample. Geothermal Kami is exactly what we want. We have 17 enchantments. So we have the pick of the litter as to what we want to be returning to our hand with this. We can return Spirited Companion. We can return Reign of Truth to get the front side again. We can return any of the back sides of the sagas to get it back. So we'll take that Kami and be very happy about it. And then we see another Moth Rider Patrol. It's about the only card we could really consider playing. So we'll take it here. And then we can start making a couple of cuts. Don't think we need Regent's Authority. Don't need the land. We're not really going to splash anything there. Nothing really for us. I mean, I don't think we're playing either of these cards. Don't think we need to splash. Shattered States Era. So, guess we'll just take the 2-drop in the event that we need it. Another Jukai Preserver, pick 7. I would like a Season of Renewal, but I think we can cut the Commune. We just want to be lots of creatures and lots of sagas. I think that's all we're looking to do here. I think I would like to play a Season of Renewal, but can't really pass up a Jukai Preserver there. And here is the Season of Renewal. I think I'll take it over Repel the Vile. Do I even want to do that? We only have an Intercessor's Arrest and a Fall of Lord Kanda and a Fade into Antiquity. I guess that's a decent amount, and this is always really going to be a 2-for-1 for us. Don't think I'm playing any of these cards necessarily. Pick 10. We did not get either of those cards back, but we did get the Moth Rider Patrol, so I suppose we can play that one. 3 Moth Rider Patrol and 3 Iganjo Exemplar is going to be pretty good by itself as a little package. And then we have a lot of ways to get more value out of that. Yeah, this will be an interesting deck build. We'll see if we can fit in Brilliant Restoration and how many non-enchantments we're going to want to run. Don't think we need Grafted Growth. We're not really ramping to anything. And Lucky Offering's a bit more of a sideboard card, I think. Guess we'll just take the white card. Doesn't really matter. None of these cards seem to matter. So we're still going to have another 3 cuts. We'll have to see what that looks like when we're looking at the deck view. And last pick, Swamp. Okay, so we've got, let's see, 5 non-creature spells. Wanderer's Intervention, Arrest, Antiquity, and Season of Renewal. And then we have Fall of Lord Khanda as a situational removal spell, Intercessor's Arrest as a catch-all removal spell, and Fade into Antiquity as a situational. Then a Season of Renewal, a Wanderer's Intervention. Sorry about that, little under the weather with allergies here today. So I think we don't need Wanderer's Intervention. We've got 3 ways to interact right now, which is not a ton, but it does something. We have a ton of 3 drops, or 2 drops, and I kind of want to keep them all. Maybe an Era of Enlightenment is on the chopping block. I don't mind having 3 Mothrider Patrols with 3 Exemplars and 2 Michiko's Reign of Truth. These cards are going to be... I guarantee we will win at least 1 game on the back of a Mothrider Patrol. Bearer of Memory is just a 3-mana 3/2 enchantment. Doesn't seem great. It's not going to really do much in this deck. I think we can cut that. I guess Brilliant Restoration is the question. And you know what? If we were a bit grindier, I think we could consider playing this. But we're looking to be quite aggressive with this deck. So I don't think we're going to be able to run a Brilliant Restoration. And then I guess the last question would be, how much do we want to run 17 versus 16 lands? So this doesn't require any mana. Jukai Preserver, Kami could be a way we want multiple mana. But there's no mana sinks here, tapping target creature. But if this deck is relying on Mothrider Patrols to tap creatures, I think that's not going to be a recipe for success. So I think we can actually cut a forest here, go 9/7, 16 lands in this green-white aggressive enchantments deck. And these Michiko's Reign of Truth are really going to help bring us over the edge. We'll have a couple First Strikers on the back of this. Selfless Samurai to protect our creatures. Sasuke to rebuy enchantment, or to rebuy sagas, rebuy Michiko's Reign of Truth, rebuy Fall of Lord Khanda's. I mean, how many sagas do we have? We have 7 sagas to go with Satsuki. A bunch of Jukai Preservers here. I think this seems like a pretty decent deck. Hope it doesn't get outclassed going into the late game. But, seems like it's got a lot of potential here. So we will run this one back. And if you're tired of green-white decks, sorry about that. I did try to, during the draft, give as many reasons as I could as to why I was going down the green-white and not switching off of it. I would not have faulted you for going red-black with the start that we could have had there. But I took what I did and went with that. Okay, so we're going second. We have a Mothrider Patrol and 2 cards we can't cast, but a green mana opens up both of these, and then we have a ton of white 2-drops that we could draw. So I think we're going to keep this. There's one of them. That's not. So if we play this, it just gets +1/+1. But it will flip into a relevant creature here at some point. So, not getting the ultimate value out of this, but we do have a lot of ways to like return it and bounce it and all that kind of stuff. So we can do this, and hopefully they don't kill the Mothrider Patrol. Seems like they've got either Kami's Flare or Voltage Surge, if I had to guess. Yeah, so we're not going to get any value out of the Reign of Truth, which is not great, but we didn't have any other play. What are we going to do, just sit here and do nothing? Flame Discharge, same thing. So this will be underwhelming. And that'll be hard to get through. Plains is about the worst draw in our deck. Bronze Cudgels. Okay. Guess that makes this able to attack. Okay. Take 4. Draw another card we can't cast. And then pass it on back. So, problem is, at this point of the game, even if we draw green, I mean, we can only play 1 spell a turn, and it's already looking to have gotten out of our hands. I think that hand was a pretty easy keep. I mean, we had so many cards we could have drawn, and any green would have opened up double Jukai Preserver on 4 and 5, so... Just gonna get screwed by the Mana Lords. The Modern Age, pretty good, pretty good. I think we need a green basically right now. And I know we're doing a 9/7 mana base. Fall of Lord Khanda. This is mana value 3, so this doesn't do anything. So this is a delayed 1/3 defender. We might have to just play this out to get that 1/3 defender to chump this at some point. They're going to get a flyer as well. So, hate not having a target for this, but I think we need to get that defender out to try to draw out of it. Yeah, so like I was saying, I think we have a 9/7 mana base, but we honestly only have like 6 green cards in the whole deck. So, I think that mana base is fine. So they'll hit us for 4, and they could hit us for 6 if they want to burn their whole turn. Okay. So now we have to leave this back to block, and we're dead to removal. Yeah, so we just die to removal, so we can't attack with this. But we'll play it so we can try to start getting a creature, right? Yeah, so we're going to have to chump with the portrait. Yep. So we will chump here. The next turn we're at least getting a 1/3. And none of it mattered because we just died to a big flyer. So, oh well. Alright, so this time we're on the play. And obviously we need more lands, but we have 2 creatures we can play that can attack with lifelink. So, and if we draw a land, we can play Azusa. Well, this is basically going to do nothing for the rest of this game because we'll never get any value out of the front. So, we can go Satsuki the Living Lore. It's a human druid. Would rather go. I think I'll go the Samurai first. Jukai Trainee, so we can't attack into that. Here's a forest. So, I think this time we can go Satsuki. And then we will pass. And then next turn we can possibly play an enchantment, get multiple triggers out of it. Okay, so no targets for Fade into Antiquity. So we can tap to put a lore counter on target saga we control. So we can do probably Zeus's Many Journeys. Can't play an extra land because we don't even have one for the turn. And then we can speed it up here. Get 3 life, and then next turn we'll get a 3/3. So they seem to be color screwed. Okay. So return that to the battlefield as a 3/3. Still missing lands, which is not nice. I think we'll go Iganjo Exemplar. And then next turn we'll have a good attack with this. Probably also with the Exemplar. Here's Spirited Companion. We can do that to try to find another land here. But it has to be white if we want to play one of these two. So right now this is attacking as a 3/2, which would just trade. And if we played this, it could attack as a lot more than that. And they're pretty color screwed, so that could get out of hand if we do this. So let's actually do that. And then whenever this attacks alone, it also gains lifelink. So we'll be able to get a ton of life back here. We could also sacrifice this to save it, but looks like they won't double block there. So we'll end the turn. So they found their extra color, but it looks like they still didn't have a play with it, which is a bit weird. So we got our extra land, which is good. We'll go ahead and give it to Exemplar again, play that land. And then we can attack. Go to damage, gains lifelink again, play another Samurai and a Spirited Companion. And then next turn that'll probably be enough. Hopefully there's not some board wipe I don't know about. Okay, good. So it looks like they got screwed just like we did last game. So not a lot of actual games going on here so far in this draft. Alright, so we're on the draw. 1-1. We've got Double Patrol and an Era of Enlightenment. So I think we'll go ahead and keep this one. Next turn we can go Era of Enlightenment, get this going, scry 2, see what we can find. We could also just play Exemplar now. I like that a little bit better. This attacks as 2-powered now. And now if they ramp into a 4-drop, we can exile it. And that is a great target to be exiling. So let us do that now. Don't want that on the battlefield, and then we'll hit for 3 here. Invoke the Ancients on turn 4? Yuck. Okay. So we're probably going to have to arrest the one with Reach. So let's do that, because I think our path to victory here is through Mothrider patrols. So we'll hit them for 2. They can keep hitting us for 4, but I think this is a race we probably win. Because we can just chump this at some point as well. Can't jump that. Season of Renewal, not exactly what we're looking for here. So this will give us some lifelink. And then let's see what we can find off of our deck. Don't need either of those. So neither of these have reach. Okay, so we'll go to combat, hit them for 2 again. We could just chump this here with the 1/3 to draw a card. We'll have to take 6, but it is what it is. Okay, so go to blockers. We'll chump here. And then take 6. Draw that card. Another Era of Enlightenment. Okay. Generous Visitor. We'll gain a couple more life. Play another Era. See what we can find. Don't need that. How about an Exemplar? So, there's also Fall of Lord Khanda in our graveyard now, and we can get that back with Season of Renewal. I know we're not getting the value of getting a creature and that, but we can return that and exile the Greater Tanuki, which I think will be pretty good. And then we can keep this on top, and then that'll start pumping the Mothra Patrols even more. So I think that's actually something I want to do. Let's go to combat. Yeah, no reach. Hit them for 2 again. Gain some life. Gonna have to take 6. Maybe more. Oh, geez. Okay, okay. So this returns a creature and an enchantment. So we can chump this time and then return the Moth Rider Patrol and the Fall of Lord Khanda. So we'll let that resolve. I don't know if we're going to be able to outrace all of this. So let's go to blockers. We'll chump here. Take 7. Now we can get both. Return a creature and an enchantment. Go to my turn. Get another chump blocker. Play this, and then exile one of their Greater Tanukis here. And this now hits for 3 lifelink. So they're on a 3-turn clock now. Commune with spirits. Okay. See what they can find. A reach enchantment. Isn't that convenient? So I think that might have just done it for us. Unless we can find another removal spell for Greater Tanuki. Don't think we're going to be able to get through a reach enchantment. Yep. Alright, so do we triple block Greater Tanuki to kill it? So what's our path to victory now? It's not jumping. It's getting rid of this. And as long as this isn't on the battlefield, that's not going to be a good plan. So I think we have to triple block, as much as I hate doing that. So our Moth Rider Patrol can go on defense and start tapping this down now. So we're going to have to get rid of this. And then while our other one can beat them. So we got to get rid of the Greater Tanuki here. Do we want to keep an Exemplar or keep a Samurai? Probably keep the Samurai to give this lifelink once we are able to start attacking with it. Alright. Now we'll start drawing lands. Play Moth Rider Patrol, and then we're going to have to start tapping down their other one here. Uh-oh. Do they have a way to get rid of Intercessor's Arrest? Maybe a sacrifice card? Are they looking at their graveyard for Season of Renewal to get a Greater Tanuki back? Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, resolves. Resolves. don't think we're gonna be able to outrace this. Especially by doing that. So we can chump this one and tap down Tanuki at the very least. So let's get in for one, because we need to keep this up to tap it down. So next to damage and turn. Oh, jeez. Okay. They are drawing nothing but gas here. And we're just drawing 1/1s and 2/2s. We have about one turn to win this game, maybe, if we're lucky. Alright. We will tap this down. We can take 3, I think. Okay, well, they're not going to attack. Well, if they do attack, that might leave it open for us if we can top deck something here. So past the blockers, definitely chumping here and then taking 3. That's not it. That lets us scry 2. This one has vigilance as well. So we can't do this, return this, play it, and tap something down. So we do need to tap down Greater Tanuki, that's very clear. So I think we have to play this and then return this to gain some life. So I know it's a delayed gain of life, but it does scry 2 and it could help us find something here. Because it's not doing much on the board except existing as a chump blocker. Okay. So next turn they're getting a Vigilance Haste as well. Alright, alright. They're top decking everything. We're playing 16 lands, we draw 8 of them. That's about average, I guess, though. Definitely have to tap this down. Like I said, if we're using this to tap things down, it's not a winning game plan. Guess we have to get rid of this and save the geothermal Kami. With the samurai? I don't think really any of this matters, to be honest. Yeah, that's probably not gonna do it. So scry 2. None of that would do it either. Yeah, we're just kind of spinning our wheels here. We can play this and still tap something down, so we're not technically dead, but we're getting pretty close. Well, I think we are now. So we tap that down, chump, chump, go to 1, go to 0. My gosh, how many cards can they top deck? That was ridiculous. All right, let's try to rally here. Alright, well this is a way to lose a game for sure, but we're keeping it because we have double Exemplar that we can play, and then that can get out of hand. This will be attacking as a 4/3 on turn 3. Alright, so you weren't punished. Blue-black ninjas with a network disruptor. I do not like seeing that because they're going to assuredly be able to ninja something in here very soon. So I think we're going to go ahead and get this combo going like I mentioned. I don't want to see them ninja in the life linker because that would be hard to race. But let's see what they ninja in here. Nothing. Okay. That's a good chump blocker. So I think we'll play Jukai Preserver here. Put it on one of the exemplars, probably. And then it'll hit as a 5-4. So they're probably going to have to start chumping this. Nope. Okay. They have chump blockers for days. So here comes a ninja almost assuredly. Let's see which one it is. Moon Circuit Hacker. Okay, could have been worse. They do get to draw a card, but now they're probably going to replay their 3-3, get more chump blockers. Yep. Moth Rider Patrol. That could be pretty good. So why don't we... I think we can actually attack with the Preserver and the Exemplar. We don't necessarily need to give this +1/+1 or +2/+2 right now. I think we need to try to outrace these cheap creatures. So let's actually attack here. And if they want to trade 2 creatures for the Exemplar, their Infiltrator plus something else, I think I'm okay with that. Or this is probably fine too to help us start getting through. Because now we can go Moth Rider Patrol and Satsuki. And then Moth Rider Patrol can be attacking as a 2/2. Can't block that one, so if they want to ninja something in, they have free reign to do so. They do not. Another Searchlight Companion. Okay. So we can go Preserver here, put a counter on this, and this attacks as a 3/3. That seems pretty good. They would have to triple block here to kill it. Looks like they'll just chump, because they got chump blockers for days. And they will use You Are Already Dead. So, that's how I'm feeling a lot in this draft. I feel already dead. You know, dead inside. Alright, so there's a target at the very least for fall. So we can do this. We can also tap it just to make sure we can get our 1/1 or our 1/3 defender sooner, because the second ability doesn't do anything. So let's just activate that. And then I think we can attack like this. Are we fine trading an Exemplar for a 1/1 at this point? I'm not sure. I think next turn we might, if we draw a land, we can go Kami plus replay Exemplar to gain 3 life, which could be important. So let's just attack like this and see how they want to block. They're just going to chump here. No, they're going to trade for one of them, okay? All their creatures are flying. They can start drawing more cards now with the Acquisition Octopus. And they're also leaving this back so we don't even have attacks. So that's not great. So this can be a 3/4, so we can't attack. So let's just return this and replay it here. Just to gain some life, because we're just kind of... Well, we can also return the Fall of Lord Khanda, but we don't have any targets for it right now is the problem. And if we return it to hand, they're going to know it's coming. We could return the Preserver to get an extra counter next turn on something. But we can't replay it. So I think I'm just going to return this. Again, if we return this, I mean, we could get punished if they have a good 4-mana play. But they would have known it's coming, and they would have just not played into it. And at some point, we might have been priced into just playing this on an empty board. So the Modern Age. So they're probably going to draw a card, pitch a land. That's exactly what happened. Now let's hope they don't have a good follow-up here. They could start re-equipping this, reconfiguring this on the Network Disruptor or either one of these and start just drawing cards. So that's not great for us. Hopefully no good follow-up. I can also unequip it. Make it a 2/2 blocker. So the fact that they played that land tells me they probably have 2, because they would have held on to it to discard it next turn. So I guess they're just thinking if they want to reconfigure this to make it a blocker. And they don't, and we're just going to top deck another land. Of course we are. We can trade with the Kami. Oh, that's the reason. They could have played this land to threaten the trade here. So they're probably going to have to trade here. So I think that's how we will attack. They're just going to chump. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, we can't do anything else, so go ahead. So we got them to 5, but unfortunately... So they chose to discard a Network Disruptor. Okay. That's why. They can't really play it, though. Because... Oh, I see. So they can attack with this. Let's see how they want to play this here. Are they going to then ninjutsu it? Oh, they didn't. You can ninjutsu post damage as well. Oh, look. Another land. Let's just attack with the Kami because that's all we have. And sitting back is not going to win us this game, so they'll trade there. Makes sense. We will end our turn. They get a 2/3 flyer. All their creatures are flying. They can draw more cards. We need something to get out of this here. Not sure what it is. Sure, keep drawing cards while I draw lands. Go ahead. I don't mind. Okay, so they are going to ninjutsu it in, it looks like. Maybe not. Okay. Sure. Okay. Now they set up their good ninjutsu target for next turn. I'll draw yet another land, and I think we're going to peter out of this draft here at 1-3 again. You know, I think we've drawn 4 straight lands here when we need to be developing, and they're just drawing like 3 cards a turn, so yeah. Sure, go ahead. Maybe they deck themselves before they kill us. That'd be nice. So we're just dead next turn anyway. Honestly, they probably had lethal, right? They just attack with the infiltrator and then attack and then hit us with, like, pump it twice. I mean, I think they just could kill us. We'll just let it go to our turn so we can see that one extra land that's left on the top of our deck, and then we'll go ahead and concede to a 1-3 underwhelming performance with what I thought was a pretty good aggressive green-white deck. The problem is this deck had a ton of chump blockers that made all of it irrelevant because they played this card about 6 times this game, so just pass. Come on. Come on. What is there to think about? You win. Silver Fur Master. Yeah, they assuredly had lethal this turn. Oh my goodness. What a surprise. Can't really do anything about that, can you? Playing 16 lands, drew 5 in a row. Oh well. On to the next one, and hopefully it's not green-white, and hopefully it's something better than that. Don't forget to stick around to the end of this video to toggle through our Neon Dynasty trophy playlist, of which there is a draft already on it, or to find our last video in case you missed it. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will see you tomorrow for your daily draft.